Today we're going to be subtracting with regrouping, but using double zeros this time. Let's see if we can dissect this problem today. My number is 800 minus 654. Do you know where the first place to start is? If you said the ones place, then you are correct. Anytime we're working in a math problem, we are always starting in the ones place. So in our ones column, we have 0 minus 4, but I can't subtract 0 minus 4 because my larger number is on the bottom and it needs to be on the top, which tells my brain right away that we have to do some subtracting regrouping. So I have to go to my neighbor next door and borrow a 10 from my neighbor. But when I look at my neighbor next door, it's also a 0, so I'm unable to borrow. So the next thing that I need to do is to go to my hundreds place and borrow 1 from my 100. So I'm going to take my 800, I'm going to cross it out because we are working on subtraction, and I'm going to make this a 7. So that now becomes 700, and I'm going to give 100 and place it inside the tens place. So 10 tens is going to equal 100. So since I have 10 tens here, I'm just going to cross this out. Now I'm going to take 110 and I'm going to give it to my ones place. This now becomes a 9 and this now becomes a 10. So I'm going to cross this out. Now I need to count from 4 up into 10. So I'm going to use my count on method. So I have 4 in my mind. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means that 10 minus 4 is 6. Again, I use the count on method for anyone that's not able to just subtract 10 from 4. If you can, go ahead and just subtract 10 from 4 without using this extra step. Now I go to my tens place and I have my 9 and I subtract it by 5, which is 4. Now I have my 7 in my hundreds place and I'm going to take 7 and subtract it by 6, which is 1. So my difference, because we're working in a subtraction problem, is 146. Now let's try another example. So we have the number 700 minus 235. So again, we're going to start in the ones place. So I'm looking at 0 minus 5, but in my mind, I know I cannot do that. So I have to then look to my neighbor next door to see if I can borrow a 10. But when I look to my neighbor next door, it's also a 0, so I can't borrow from there. So then I go to my next neighbor in the hundreds place, and I can then borrow. So now looking in my hundreds place, I am going to take 100 away, which makes this 600. I'm then going to give 100 to my tens place. 10 tens is equal to 100. So I'm going to go ahead and cross this out. Now my ones place still needs a 10, so I'm going to cross out this 10, make it a 9, and give 110 to my ones place. So now I can then cross out this 0. I'm going to take 10 minus 5, which is 5. If you did not know that, again, you can use the count on method. You can start at 5, say 5 in your head, and then count up to 10. So that would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we can do the tens place, which is 9 minus 3. 9 minus 3 is 6. Now I go to my hundreds place and I subtract 6 minus 2, which is 4. And since we are in subtraction, 465 is called the difference. And you have found your answer.